Happy October, everyone. The energy this month is asking us to meet and reveal the hidden self. And in this video, I'm going to share how to deepen your inner work process so that you can make the most of this powerful month while still celebrating the magic of fall and, of course, spooky season. If the veil between the physical world and the spiritual world is thin on Halloween, then the veil is also thin between who we think we are and who we actually are. This month is an invitation to meet and embody the authentic self. The question to ask is, what have we consciously concealed about ourselves that we are now ready to express? During Halloween, we get to play a character and hide behind a mask. There's a sense of safety in that, but underneath it, there is a burning truth. We want to explore and express more parts of ourselves that we don't think people will receive or accept. One night a year, we get to be outrageous or silly or dress up as a superhero. Some people even dress up as villains and monsters in order to work out and exercise those darker parts of the psyche in a way that doesn't harm anyone. And some people just need to dress up as a sexy nurse, and we're all here for it. The point of all of this is self-expression. The energy this month is saying you are safe to be who you are, to show your true self, and now attract the people and opportunities in your life that are in alignment with your authentic self. When you meet the hidden self, you are meeting the parts of you that just want to be. These are parts of ourselves that we shut down in our youth from shame, programming, indoctrination, or trauma. These are the parts of us that at some point learned you are not safe to be you. The great sages of our time, Nirvana, told us to come as we are, but we don't. We show up as what will get us approval and acceptance. We show up as the version of ourselves we created to survive our childhoods. When one goes through a spiritual awakening, they start to see these aspects and can appreciate them for how far they've gotten them in life. But they also know it's time to heal and integrate them if those parts were created out of trauma or don't represent who they currently are. This doesn't mean we're ashamed of those aspects. We might even still need some of them, but this is speaking to our authentic selves who we meet through inner child work, parts work, and shadow work that can fully come forward and see where they fit in our present time consciousness. This is the work that helps us redefine ourselves. This isn't a reinvention to hide or be someone else. This is the opportunity we give ourselves to rediscover what we care about and who we knew we were always meant to be. This is about meeting the person behind the persona, or behind the mask. There is a voice inside all of us that speaks to us at different choice points in our lives. For some of us, it's the inner child, the higher self, or the inner voice. This may differ for everyone, but it's always giving us the same messages. Who are you? Are you fulfilled with your life? Are you accessing your full potential? Are you going to make the changes you know you need to make? Are you in alignment? Are you authentic? Are you staying in your integrity? Taking the time this month to ask yourself these questions, actually listening for an answer, and then trusting that answer is how you meet and reveal the hidden self. Why do we avoid this? Because it's scary. We don't know who we're going to meet when we've been used to suppressing ourselves for so long. Maybe it's an aspect in complete rage or grief. Maybe it's an aspect who wants to leave their current job or relationship, but is too afraid to change. And maybe it's an aspect who is coming to terms with their sexuality. What happens if it's an aspect who no longer believes everything they grounded into their entire lives? That's why this work is scary. Let's even call it spooky. Discovering the self and what's hidden in the subconscious is like exploring a haunted house completely on your own. You enter the house armed only with the flashlight of your intention, and you're asking for things to come into your awareness. You go up the stairs as they creak, and you're jumpy and alarmed because you don't know what you're going to find in the rooms that have been abandoned for so long. Have you ever watched a horror movie where it doesn't actually end up being scary? It's just sad? That's usually the shocking twist in a movie, and not everyone is ready to deal with the sadness that they might discover. But this is exactly what the powerful and transformative energy of October will gracefully allow you to do if you undertake this work. This practice goes beyond this month. Think of October as a launching pad for deep inner work, but remember that you want to do this whenever you hear that call to go deeper within and answer the questions that have been nagging you your whole life. To get started, I recommend picking one area of inner work that you feel the most drawn to. During Libra season, we are drawn to creating balance in our lives, to connecting with friends, and starting creative projects. But as we shift into Scorpio season towards the end of October, we discover why we want to do those things and how we can become even more passionate about what we care about. Scorpio season is also the opportune time to explore shadow work, so let's use this as a focus area. Shadow work is a term coined by psychologist Carl Jung, referring to the unconscious aspects of ourselves that are usually hidden from the ego, or parts that the ego does not want to acknowledge. It is sometimes referred to as our dark side. These aspects include emotions, desires, and behaviors that some may interpret as negative. The goal of shadow work is to eventually integrate the shadow by bringing these unconscious aspects forward to understand them, to find out the root of our triggers and the reasons why we react and behave in certain ways, as well as which repressed emotions need our attention in order for us to meet all our aspects with compassion and unconditional love. Shadow work helps us understand the deeper and unexpected ways that we interact with the world. Feeling your feelings and understanding why you do or don't do certain things allows you to become more aware of what triggers your ego and allows you to act from a higher, more conscious place, rather than reacting to outside triggers from others that are speaking to an aspect of yourself that just wants to be understood and liberated. This is what deep inner work truly means, and this is what the energy this month will allow us to safely do. Trust that when you meet these aspects, you won't freeze up and create a new problem. As I explained in my fall equinox video, the energy of the fall season magnetizes old energy from deep within and supports this transformation on its own. All we need to do is pause and create the opportunity to engage with our self-awareness. Discovering the parts of us we have concealed, understanding what they are and what they need from us, and finally freeing them by allowing them to come to light after years of darkness is no easy undertaking. But if you're watching this video right now, your guidance is telling you that you are ready and that you have nothing to be afraid of. Remember, when you meet the hidden self, there is no judgment. You are holding space for all of you. Just like the end of a Halloween night, when the costumes come off, we see that underneath, it's just people pretending. And when they wake up the next morning, they go about their lives waiting for the next time they get to fully dress up in costume and express themselves again. Well, what if we do things differently this year? What if when we take off those fun costumes and we wake up the next morning, we're just grateful to be ourselves? What if we promise ourselves that we'll never abandon and forget the parts of us that have something to say and never have to hide, because we fully accept and welcome all of them? That's not a trick or an artificial treat. That's just pure, unconditional love.